Welcome to all of our BPTV friends, YouTube friends. We're coming back from our 2-week spring break hiatus. This is our first show back just for you guys. And if you're new, we've been doing this for about 7 months. So check out our other by request shows. We appreciate all the great feedback we're getting on it. And if we can just help one person get a little happier, that's our theme today. So I'm going to bring Jessica Lee on. We co-host, co-produce this great show for BPTV.
Al, it's great to see you again. I was on Sanibel Island for a week, just staring at the ocean, trying to fill back up creatively and from a health perspective. So I just want to say hello to you. Thank you to BPTV and hi to everyone tuning in. We have a kind of a cool show today. And during the spring break, the vibe was connecting with nature, connecting with spirit, filling back up, getting ready for a terrific summer. And I have to ask you as we begin, what are you drinking?
I already sipped a little China gunpowder. I have another sip. Sip by sip, the better health and great music.
Hey, here's to your health. Do you
Welcome
happy?
back, Jess. Welcome back.
I
And
have something for you. I have a big heart on my cup today, but I also have this. Can you see it?
yes, Silver Rain, a nice
That's,
green tea.
that's the white tea I'm drinking.
Yes,
White tea.
I
So
recommend it highly because there's almost no caffeine in it, which is good.
yeah, we want everybody now to start to move into a wellness mode, Al. So connecting with nature, connecting with spirit, getting happier and healthier, and understanding that a lot of people I talked to this week who requested the songs by request, they've been telling me stories, Al, this week,
Sure.
specifically stories about feeling a little bit anxious, feeling a little bit depressed. Some people have that post traumatic stress disorder reaction, PTSD, to the whole pandemic and the isolation. Um, some people, as we know, have lost loved ones. And we just want to say, as we start to move into a healthier summer and fall, and hopefully have this coronavirus pandemic in our rearview mirror soon, we understand that people are still feeling some of the anxiety about what's safe and what's not. So we want to say today, Al, that's okay to feel depressed. It's okay to feel anxious, unsure. We've been through a tough year together. And we just want to say today that it's the kindness revolution. We want everybody to be kinder to yourselves, gentler with yourself, and gentler and kinder with everybody else. So the theme of all the song requests today out was help me to be kinder and gentler to myself and to others, help me to connect with spirit and to have a close walk with whatever you perceive God or unconditional love's source to be. That was the theme. Well, how about you? What was the last week like for you?
Well, Jess, your theme is great and it's spot on because I see the quarantine fatigue and other people suffering, and let alone the mental health, which is in shambles right now. You can just see it all over the place with what you hear. But I'm a little bit inspired because a couple people told me they were able to go to church in the last week or two. And they were so happy and so inspired that I got inspired hearing that, because I'm still trying to practice some social distancing, even though I've had my shots and I feel healthy and great. And you know me, I'm about positivity and kindness in general. So I'll jump right on this kindness train right now.
Well, let's talk a little bit, Al, about some of the songs, and let's talk about maybe the first one that was requested for our
Yeah.
by request show. Uh, there's a song that's very old, and it's called Lord, Don't Move That Mountain. And it really is about overcoming obstacles in our lives. So, one thing that has been a theme of this week is people saying, man, I was worried about this, but Al, it wasn't this that happened, it was that that happened.
Good
And
point.
old Rosanna Dana, for those who were
Yes.
Saturday Night Live fans, Gilda Radner, she used to say, if it's not one thing, it's the other. So in life, we have these obstacles, and I had several song requests for this Lord, Don't Move That Mountain. But it says, lyric says, but give me the strength to climb. And Lord, don't move my stumbling blocks, but lead me all around. So this idea of we have obstacles, we all do, and we all feel anxious and depressed at times. It's normal to a certain extent. And really to connect with God or whatever you believe God to be, the source of unconditional love, and have that personal relationship and ask for some guidance to overcome some of the hard things in our life. That was the theme of this song that was requested now, the first one of three.
That sounds great. We'll practice a little agape and we'll listen to this right now.
Lord, don't move that mountain, but give me the strength to climb. Well, Lord, you don't have to take away my stumbling block, but lead me all around. Lord, I don't bother nobody. I try to treat everybody the same, but every time I turn my back, they scandalize my name. Well, I say, Lord, don't move the mountain, but give me the strength to climb way up high now. Lord, don't take away my stumbling block, but lead me all around. When my foes, they try to slay me, these things they will try to do. Well, Lord, don't touch them, but within their hearts, make them give their lives to you. So we say, Lord, don't move our mountains, give us the strength to climb way up high now. Lord, don't take away my stumbling block and leave me all around. I said, lead me all around now. I said, lead me all around. Lead us all around. Lord, don't move our mountain.
Jessica Lee, that's a great song. I remember hearing it live, and I thought it was unique that the sun was coming down in the sky, getting ready to set. And for some reason, Steve, our cameraman, did a great job and caught the sunlight on you, which was so great with this song because Mark's playing was off the charts like usual. Just how he played that guitar, when you hear each note, they were amplified to me. And the sound by Brando, top shelf. That's such a great song for today, especially with our theme of kindness, and to try to step into this recovery period step by step, and slowly but surely we're going to get better.
It's going to get better, Al. And so Mark Strickland on guitar, Brandon Martin, our friend Brando on sound, and Steve's last name on camera for BPTV.
Yeah, Steve Fisher. Yes.
Yeah, he did a great job. So we want to thank him. Want to tell everybody a little bit about the song, Al, but before you do, just to tell everybody, go to jessicaleejazz.com, Jessica Lee, Lee, jazz.com, and there under shows, I do show people some outdoor shows that we're going to do this summer that are safe. They'll be
Sure.
outside, outdoors, And so if they want to come and hear some of those live shows, the last one we did was the one we just saw in
Yes.
at the Carnegie Music Hall outside. So tell us about the song. What'd you find?
1958. That's the year. That's Lord, Don't Move the Mountain. And it was, according to ASCAP, it was co-written by Doris Akers, who we don't hear a lot about, but I have some great information about her. And then she did it with the legendary gospel lady, Mahalia Jackson. They collaborated on this. And guess what? They sold over 1 million records. So it become a standard. And I never heard of Doris Akers. So, I had to dig a little bit into this. And I have an interesting little story. First of all, she was born May 21st. So her birthday's coming up. And she was born 1923. So she's almost 100 years old. But she did pass away in 1995 at 72. And she just had a great life. She started with playing the piano at 6 years old, reminds me of Jessica Lee. Then she wrote her first song at 10, and it was called Keep the Fire Burning. Now, who would imagine a 10-year-old created a song like that? Then at 22, she moved to LA, and she ended up getting recruited to play and sing the piano for Tommy Dorsey. And we all know about the Tommy Dorsey Band. You talk about what a collaboration. And there was a Sally Martin group that she sang with. They were famous back then. And she learned the music and the business. So she was helping him, Tommy Dorsey, sell gospel piano sheet music. So to me, in this day and age, we don't even understand what this paper's all about. And she was selling sheet music. And because of this business and talent, she was known as Miss Gospel Music. What a title that I found out. This lady, how could she slip through the cracks?
Well, Al, what I think about is she was a prolific composer. Am I right?
Yes,
And so now you have made me curious to look up a lot more of her compositions. Mahalia Jackson, she's well known as the queen of gospel music, and she co-wrote this, I believe.
yes, she was the co-writer.
Yeah, it's so cool. I think it's great to shine a light on the lesser known of the two songwriters today.
Yes, and I have a little light on Mahalia because her being legendary. Of course, I got to say when she was born, October 26, 1911, and she passed away January 27th, 1972. So, look, she would have been 110 years old. And yet we're talking about her today, which is just great. And she was considered one of the most famous sorry, I'm sorry.
Influencer.
I couldn't say it. I could read it. And vocalist of the 20th century. What a mouthful. I got it out. And that's just the legend. She had a 40-year career. I can't even mention all the names, but I will mention she was personal friends with Martin Luther King. She was personal friends with JFK. She actually sang.
Let me throw in here, because we're going to talk about two great pianists today from Pittsburgh. One of them is a mentor of mine, Dr. James Johnson, and he's the founder of the Afro-American Music Institute in Homewood.
Yes.
In Pittsburgh. Dr. J, he came from the South where he was born, and his father was really good friends with Dr. Martin Luther King. And his dad, he grew up in the church. Dr. J played, we call him Dr. J, James Johnson.
Yes.
Played a lot of different instruments and grew up in the church. And Martin Luther King, Dr. King, had 3 favorite songs that Dr. J's dad knew about and told Dr. J, and Dr. J told me, and he said, Precious Lord, Take My Hand, sung by Mahalia Jackson. Uh-huh. And one was If I Can Help Somebody. There's a song called that, My Living Will Not Be in Vain, sung by Mahalia.
Yes.
And
I saw those songs. Yes.
yeah, and he also he also loved a song, You'll Never Walk Alone. And so those were three that are really those inspirational early gospel songs that Dr. Martin Luther King loved and Mahalia sang many times for him in his events.
No, and it's such a small world in Pittsburgh. I've heard you talk about Dr. J before. Now, a friend of ours, John Serapere, has We 21 that honors Roberto Clemente. During COVID or before it, he was going to do an event there. So guess who got to meet Dr. J and his beautiful, great wife and singer, Pam, I think it is.
Pamela.
Yeah, and they were both great. They enjoyed my talking. Pam also said, "You are a good talker," and we were talking about filming a show there, and they were just great.
Yeah. Al, they've been in Homewood at the Afro-American Music Institute.
I was there
for many, many, many years. So everybody who wants to look them up, Google Afro at AFRO, American Music Institute, Homewood, PA, in Pittsburgh. Now, moving on to the next song, because we
Let's
have
go.
three today. Great. To the next song, I want to highlight another terrific pianist from Pittsburgh. His name is Max Leake, Leake. Max helped to produce and play on an album of mine called Rhythms of Anyway with Mark Strickland as well and others. And Max arranged a really beautiful version, unique arrangement, using what the world needs now. The song "What the World Needs Now" is love, sweet love, right? That song is an introduction. We call it an intro, and
Yes.
an outro, meaning going out as well. We sandwich that song, "What the World Needs Now," on the ends, and in the middle of the sandwich, the peanut butter and jelly in the middle, is "What a Wonderful World." So we created a medley. When you hear this song that was requested this week, Max did an unbelievable job of not only arranging this particular piece, but also you'll hear strings in the introduction, for example. He played all of those strings on the keyboard. He's just very talented, very creative. So this is a terrific medley. And again, spiritually, what the world needs now, we're saying, is kindness to ourselves, kindness to others, is more love. And then What a Wonderful World for the springtime and the summertime. We're coming into trees of green and red roses too.
Yes.
So, let's hear it, Al. What do you think?
I'm ready to listen it right now.
What the world needs now is love, sweet love. It's the only thing that there's just too little of. What the world needs now is love, sweet love. No, not just for some, but for everyone. I see trees of green, red roses too. I watch them bloom now for me and you, and I think to myself, what a wonderful world. I see skies of blue and clouds of white, bright blessed day now, dark sacred night, and I think to myself, what a wonderful world. The colors of the rainbow, pretty in the sky, also on the faces of people passing by. I see friends shaking hands, saying, how do you do? They're really saying, I love you. I hear babies cry, I watch them grow. They'll learn much more than we will ever know. I think to myself, what a wonderful world. The colors of the rainbow, pretty in the sky, also on the faces of people passing by. I see friends shaking hands, saying, how do you do? They're really saying, I love you. I hear babies cry, we watch them grow. They'll learn much more than we will ever know. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. Yes, I think to myself, Lord, we don't need another mountain. There are mountains and hillsides enough to climb. There are oceans and rivers enough to cross, enough to last till the end of time. What the world needs now is love, sweet love. It's the only thing that there's just too little of. What the world needs now is love, sweet love. No, not just for some, but for everyone. No, not just for some, but for everyone.
Jessica Lee, since your album Rhythms Anyway came out, you gave me a complimentary disc that I've listened to many nights as I go to sleep. And this is one of my favorite songs and arrangements on that CD. So I recognized the strings and I thought it was almost magical and surreal how it was blended with the piano and the skills. They're just off the charts, and let alone the words and the hopefulness that I get out of that song and have listened to it for what, 5, 6 years now since your album's been out. So thank you for that. I hope all of you appreciate what I listen to because I know it's fantastic, just amazing.
Well, I just like to say on that song, we have not only Max Leak on piano and as the arranger of the What the World Needs Now piece, but we also had Mark Strickland on guitar and lending a little bit of the kind of cool arrangement for the What a Wonderful World in the middle, and the great Roger Humphreys on drums.
Oh, really? I forgot
Yeah,
about that.
that's Roger Humphreys on drums. We had George Jones on percussion. We had a really great band. So the Rhythms of Anyway album, they can look that up and find that and many more. What did you find about the songwriters?
Well, I just found a little bit because we wanted to chat a little bit more about this, but I did find out like who wrote it, Burt Bacharach, and lyrics by Hal David. And The Wonderful World was written by Bob Thiel and George David Weiss. And the arrangement, of course, was by Max Leak. And that's all I had because I figured we're trying to be inspired by this kindness theme.
Well, let's go and do this. So, What a Wonderful World was made very popular by none other than Louis Armstrong.
Exactly.
And that man's music and his life radiated unconditional kindness and love. I mean, he was just, you can hear him smiling when he sings, Louis Armstrong. you know?
That is so true, Jess. I even went back because you gave me this tip, to check it out. I went back and heard Louis Armstrong sing What a Wonderful World, and it just blows me away with his voice and playing and just amazing. And Max captured it. Mark Strickland and all the rest of the crew were amazing, truly.
Yeah, and a word about Burt Bacharach. So I know that some people like to kind of listen to what we say and then go to YouTube and look some things up. If they look him up, he has partnered with so many singers and musicians on his compositions through the years, and he's done some wonderful public television shows, Al, where he'll
Yes.
do a full concert and he has a different singer for every single song that he's written.
Wow.
And it's just so cool to take a look at the various songs that he's written and how wonderful they are. He's a great composer, and so that's Bert. And then Al, this all leads into kind of our final song that's been requested. To me, time and time again, I've been getting requests for this song throughout the pandemic. Interestingly, it might be the most requested song of the
Really?
pandemic.
Wow.
And I always tell people that with the music that I sing, I love to sing anywhere and everywhere, as you know, but I also do sing in churches, but I'll sing in any church. I don't care what religion it is, as long as it's
Sure.
the God of unconditional love. I'm not worried about it, about what religion this is or that is. I'm really, really interested in a personal relationship with God. And that's where a lot of people have said to me over the past couple weeks that they've been working on the most important thing, which is their relationship with God and with others. And just, focusing on relationships more than things, right? Things don't make you happy. A house, a
Mhm.
car. So this song is called Just a Closer Walk with Thee. And, you know, the song for me is just about being mindful, being in the moment, connecting in this moment with kind of joy and peace, and saying, just live in this moment. When you start to worry, bring yourself back to this moment and just live this moment with joy and peace and some gratitude. And your whole life is great if you just live it moment by moment. Don't worry too much about tomorrow. Just stay right here and do the best you can, and that'll create the best tomorrow. So many people have requested this, Al, just a closer walk with thee. What's interesting about this song to me is nobody knows who wrote it.
Right.
I mean, who's the composer?
We don't know.
We don't know. There's a lot of stories about maybe where it came from, but it has appeared and it has become a long standing classic or a standard for American music. And so, what do you have, if anything, to share with this idea of being in the moment and walking kind of a mindful walk and not worrying too much about the future?
Well, I've always been one that puts my worries in a little box and I leave them to the side. And I just had a conversation today, so it's so ironic. I was talking to a friend of mine, nice lady, and I said, I worry about a half an hour a day because I got a couple kids and, things like that. You always worry about your kids. And I said, I put it in a box and I forget about it. And she goes, wow, that's a great idea. So I'm giving you the Al Levine, the talking machine tip of the day. Put your worries in a box and just be kind. And with Jessica Lee inspiring me and all of you out there, just follow this. And this will be a great song to close it out, Jess. And I'll let you take us to the end here. Okay.
Well, thank you for that thought. I think that's nice to wake up in the morning, put all your worries in a box, and just give it to God. Go on with your day. And I'm going to try that tomorrow. So thank you for that tip. I'd like to just end with this, Al. For anybody watching, we've also been doing a by request version of a show that goes through the walls into senior homes and nursing homes and to those who are isolated and shut in. We've been piloting the program at a place on the north side, and we're growing the program now where we take requested music through the walls into nursing homes and assisted living homes and to all those who are isolated. So anybody who might like to go to Jessica Lee Jazz and there's a virtual tip jar, make a tip. We're using all of that money to help to produce music for those people who are shut in during the coronavirus pandemic and beyond. And we are going to be kicking off a program where for every $20, if they want, we'll send them one of the CDs, one of the 5 CDs that I've done over the years as a gift, a thank you gift. And we'll be doing that more together out on social media. But we want to thank everybody for making song requests. Keep them coming. We'll do them on the show. And for helping us with the Through the Walls program to the extent that you can to bring song requests to those who are isolated and possibly sick and alone. So here's just a closer walk with thee. We're never really alone, Al. And thank you to you and to BPTV for putting on these shows.
And thank you, Jessica Lee, for your inspiration and your great singing, piano playing, and your other musicians that have helped out. It's just a great feeling that we created today. And to all of you, stay tuned for our next by request. It'll be out in a couple weeks.
Hey everybody, this is Jessica Lee stopping by for one quick song by request at my piano. By request. I am weak, but thou art strong. Jesus, keep me from all wrong. I'll be satisfied as long as I walk. Let me walk close to thee. Through this world of toils and snares, if I falter, Lord, who cares? With me, my burden shares. None but thee, dear Lord, none but thee. When my feeble life leaves o'er, will be no more. Guide me gently, safely on to the kingdom shore, the kingdom shore. Just a closer walk with thee. Granted, Jesus, is my plea now. Daily walking close to thee. Let it be, dear Lord, let it be. Daily walking close to thee. Let it be, dear Lord, let it be.